Hi, welcome to Life is a Treasure podcast. I'm your hostess, Michelle Durand, and you're listening to episode number 20, Peace During Pandemic. As this is a bonus episode that I felt so led to create in respect to what's going on in the world right now. Right now, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and I feel like it's so important to share tips and suggestions and inspiration because the news is flooded with negativity, things to scare us. And I just felt like I wanted to come and make this bonus episode. So normally I do create episodes called Tea Time Treasures, and I share my favorite tea. I share a tarot or oracle card with you, and it's just a time to have like a little break from our everyday life. Well, tonight, it's the evening, and instead of tea, I'm drinking a glass of wine, white wine, and I just wanted to come and have a very casual, open communication episode where I just share some of the things that I'm doing, share a little bit about my experience with anxiety, which we probably are all struggling with high anxiety right now. And my goal in this episode is to offer you some encouragement, some inspiration, information, and most importantly, some ideas that you may be able to implement and incorporate into your own life right now during this time. So if you would like to join me, pause this episode, fix yourself a glass of tea or wine, and let's get started. So as we are all aware in this entire world, we are in the middle of what has been declared a pandemic from the coronavirus, and they have shortened this to COVID-19, which means coronavirus disease 2019. It started in 2019. And so I will call it COVID-19 throughout this episode because I know if you're like me, we're so tired of hearing the word Corona. And if you'd like to go get you a Corona beer, have at it. So first of all, I just want to share that wherever you are listening in the world, I am praying that you can find peace during this pandemic. I have friends all over the world. I know people in Italy. I know people in Indonesia because we lived there for 8 years. My heart goes out to every single person who has been affected, which is pretty much all of us, but who have been affected in maybe some severe ways, especially those who might be struggling with the virus of coronavirus. Praying for your healing, and I'd love to hear from you. If you need support or encouragement, reach out to me because I want to do whatever I can to offer you some encouragement during this time. So, also today, the day that I released this, is the first day of spring. And it sounds kind of ironic, but you know, with spring comes new birth. The plants start to bloom. The butterflies, the birds come out. They start laying eggs and having new baby birds, and new plants and flowers begin to bloom. And I just want to say, as we start this episode, this season shall too pass. This pandemic will end, and we will get back to a normal life. But right now, what we're facing here in the United States, where I'm recording this in Texas, is there's fear. There's scarcity, there is uncertainty, and it's something that we have to live through. We don't want to have to go through these things, but we just have to. I mean, there's things that are out of our control. And so my hope through this episode is to share some things that you can control, okay? So I would like to address things of how to replace fear with faith, how to replace anxiety with affirmations of positivity, how to create some sanity in our lives when all around us is scarcity. We will have to be creative, but most important is to learn how to take care of ourselves, our mind, our body, and our soul, because that is the mission. That's the overall foundation of this podcast, Life is a Treasure, is about taking care of our mind and our body and our soul, because they're all combined to make us this human being that we are. Human beings, we have feelings, we have fear, we have concern, we have financial obligations, we have family that we are so concerned about. But we also have the gift of faith. And I hope that during this time, you can treasure your faith, whatever that might be. I also hope that we can learn to come together, not only as a community, but worldwide. Help each other, have compassion, have acceptance of each other, as we all are in this together. And being separate and fighting through things and fighting for things will not make it better, will only make it worse for every individual person. And when we're at high levels of stress and fear, our children feel it. So as parents, our job, our responsibility is to try to remain calm as best that we can, educate our children, make the best of what's happening, and be an example to them. Because this will not be the first time probably that they go through this in the world. And perhaps next time you won't be around. So let's look for the opportunities in the midst of the obstacles and utilize what we can to help make this world a better place, even during a pandemic. So I'd like to start with some things that would help with our self-care. Number one, make sure you're trying to get as much sleep as you can. And I know that's hard. If your mind's like mine, it just goes on and on. Like, what do I need to do? What do I need? What's going to happen next? All the what ifs. I will share some things that I do. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a licensed professional therapist, but I will tell you that there's things I have learned over my 50 years of being on earth, and I hope that it might help you. And so take what you want, leave what you don't want. And maybe some of these suggestions just might help you. So to sleep, I use sleep supplements if I'm having a hard time sleeping. I definitely love tea, hence Tea Time Treasures. So right now, my favorite tea is an anxiety tea. Lavender is really good, and also honey. So you can put honey in your tea. Honey helps your immune system. And so you can put honey in your tea as well. So get as much sleep as you can. Try sleep supplements. I love natural things. I try not to take as least amount of chemical products as I need to. But I definitely recommend and love to use more natural things, and they help me. I use CBD oil because I also have Tourette's. I have high anxiety. So the CBD oil helps me so much with my Tourette's and also with my anxiety. Every night I take a bath. I use Epsom salt and I use lavender. I'll put an essential oil in my bath, or you can put drops in your shower, and that will just help. And the shower also helps. The steam from it helps you to breathe better. So if you have a cold or the flu or the coronavirus, that will help you. And as well as using diffusers that have water and essential oils in them, will put out that mist of moisture that you need. So if the air is dry, it'll help you to breathe. And you can use any essential oil that you prefer, but lavender is very calming. And you want to make sure that you reduce your stress as much as possible, because if you're stressed, your immune system will be really, really low, and you're more prone to have symptoms. So definitely keep that in mind. So Epsom salts, essential oils. I also will burn candles. I love candles. And so candles are so good. And sage. So sage is has properties that clear the air. They just have a lot. You can Google the benefits of burning sage, and there's also essential oils that are sage. Use that. Look into that. That'll help you a lot. So I will burn sage. I will take my vitamins every single day. So I take multivitamin, make sure I have enough vitamin C, enough vitamin D, and I make sure there's zinc in it. Elderberry, I take elderberry every single day, and mine has zinc in it. Garlic is so good for your immune system, so try to use garlic in your recipes as much as you can. And turmeric is an anti-inflammatory. Try to use that in your recipes. I also love the powdered of some like greens, super greens or super reds, and it's just a lot of green nutrients all put together, and you can mix it in water. I mix it in milk. It tastes like a smoothie. You can put it in your yogurt, but that will help your immune system tremendously if you can get some super green powders. I order mine through Amazon. Make sure you get enough water. Water is crucial for everything. Our bodies need so much water, more than we even think. And fruits and vegetables. I know that's hard. It's challenging, which leads me to another idea. So that's for our body. Let's talk now more about like our mind. One thing that I love to do is to garden. I've had a garden and I enjoy gardening so much. I love to reap the benefits of the seeds that I sow or the plants that I sow. And right now I have growing in my garden carrots, potatoes, turnips, beets, spinach, peppers, tomatoes. So I grow a lot of my own vegetables, and I love to just go outside and pick what I need and have fresh herbs, fresh vegetables for our meals. So that's a great hobby. You know, a lot of us right now are having to work from home, or we don't have a job for a few weeks. It's a great thing to keep your mind on something else that you can control, and you can see the benefits of it pretty quickly. And also, it gets you outside because nature is so important right now. Go outside. Look, the gyms are closed down. Be creative. Exercise outside. Bring a yoga mat. Go do yoga. Meditate. Just nature is so healing. Nature will lift your spirits instantly. You'll hear the birds chirping and you'll realize that there's a life out there beyond just the pandemic. Don't sit and just watch the TV and watch the news. That, without you realizing, will have so much effects on your mental health. So definitely try to get outside as much as you can. I have dogs. I have a medium-sized dog, and I go outside and play with him often throughout the day. And just having the dog and the interaction helps me and my mental health so much. I'm also painting, so I'm learning to paint, and I'm going to be doing that. You can do a puzzle. I love to learn online, so I'm taking a lot of classes online. You can learn a new language online. Speaking of online, I also, for your mental health, therapy is amazing. I talked about this before. I have a therapist here that I met in person for the last I've always had a therapist, but I've been meeting with this one here, and she now has to go to video. I can't meet her in person. I've also had therapy online. So this is a great time to talk about this. If you are struggling in any way from what's happening in the world, reach out. There's support for no matter what, no matter where you live, and even the financial situation. You can find online therapy who will work with you in your financial situation. So reach out to me. I will send you the link of the therapy who will help you depending on your income. Definitely talk to someone during this time. They're trained to help us. Look at our feelings and give us tools and techniques to help us process what we're dealing with. Okay, so definitely think about therapy and online therapy, because now the lady I meet, we're going to be meeting via video. So it works. It doesn't matter. You don't have to see someone in person, sit on their sofa and all that. Like, you can get help virtually. I work from home. I work virtually. I work via video. That's how I help my clients. So it definitely works. So we touched on our body. Make sure you're exercising. Like I said, get outside. Even if you walk, it doesn't matter, 5 minutes, but ultimately 20 to 30 minutes every day will help your mind, body, and your soul and your spirit. Okay. So do those things. And, I wanted to share, I always pull a tarot card for these episodes. And so I felt extremely important to pull one today. And I'm using a new deck that I have not pulled from for these episodes yet. And it's called the Spirit Animal Oracle Deck by Colette Baron Reed. And before I started to record, I pulled a card. I pulled a card for us, and it was number 13. And number 13 is my lucky number. It's the day that I was born. And this card is the cat spirit. And it says, claim your independence. So I would like to share with you what it says, and I'll interject some of my own thoughts. So it says, cat spirit, claim your independence. The message is, when cat spirit meows, she is calling you to claim your independence and allow for some space between you and others in your life. And I thought, I kind of felt like so appropriate while we're practicing social distancing right now to help prevent the spread of this coronavirus, that the words were very timely. The only way you can grow in all of your relationships now is to have a healthy sense of self-respect and self-worth. Okay, again, the episode that releases today also talks about self-worth and self-respect with Clarissa Romero. So I highly recommend you listen to this episode that also released today about self-worth. And it goes on to say, when you walk with dignity, knowing who you are, self-aware and willing to grow, trusting the value you bring, the world will mirror all this back to you. You know, and right now with so many people out of jobs, not knowing like what's going to happen, know who you are and know that you will be okay. Okay, it goes on to say, when you say no to codependency and enmeshment, live and let live, and practice taking risks as you wander into new territory for you. Cat spirit rejoices. She is here to urge you to let your independent spirit roam free. And the protection message is, this may be the time you are facing some unpredictable situations. Yes, aren't we all? Are you hesitant to take a risk? Too cautious to jump into something new because you fear that you can't trust yourself? Cat spirit is saying, go for it, because you will land on your feet. If nothing seems to be going according to plan, there is no reason to worry. Cat spirit loves to mix it up, and these seemingly upsets will actually bring you some wondrous and unexpected opportunities. Get ready to pounce, as you may be called to jump into something new at a moment's notice. At this time, your instincts are keen and your intuition is sharp. Remember, even a temporary failure can lead to a spectacular success. So embrace the adventure. You are sure-footed and you can trust yourself. So I really, really hope that this episode in some way can offer you some inspiration. I hope that I've given you some information that can help your life. Most importantly, I really do hope that you will try to implement some of these ideas in order to create a life that you treasure. Until next time, peace, love, and joy. Stay safe and stay strong, my friends, because we will get through this and you will be stronger on the other side of it.